Now they can't register to vote unless they actually have become citizens.
Yes.
And that something is now happening where these people are somehow being fast-tracked.
I heard about it, Mr. Brandt.
No, I'm telling you, I got the evidence today.
I heard about it.
Are being fast-tracked. Some of them are not even citizens, but they were able to get social security cards.
Yes.
And were allowed to register with social security cards when they're not eligible because they're not citizens.
Yes.
That is the degree to which we are going. Persons are being given social security card who cannot get citizenship because they have the connections to Nevis or St. Kitts. Social security card. That is what we are now hearing.
Hey Mark, good night. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
This is Ronald Powell. I'm calling my official capacity as the Assistant Director with responsibility for Social Security in Nevis.
Okay.
And I basically want to address some mendacious statements made by our good friend, and I guess a candidate in the next election for your party, regarding Social Security, issuing cards or registering people who are non-citizens and therefore not qualified. Well, when Mr. Scarborough finds himself in a public place to bring Social Security into disrepute, I have a problem with that. Let me state clearly, categorically, one need not be a citizen to get a Social Security number. The law states if you're in gainful employment in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, you could be an insured person. You don't even need a work permit. So let's get that clear. So when Mr. Scarborough wants to gain political points, I would suggest that he do not bring Social Security into disrepute. If it's one thing I know about Social Security staff, that when it comes to issuing Social Security or registering people, issuing cards, they're very, very pedantic. What I'm really disturbed about again is that my good friend, Elton Marcus Hull, my family, who has access to me at all times, is on another recording, lending credence to that foolishness. Elton has access to me. When I'm hungry, I shop at Elton House to eat, and I'm always welcome. So therefore, it's downright malicious, and that ought not to happen. Let me state, Mark, for the record, because I don't want to take up much of your time. The only person who has ever asked me to assist anyone with a Social Security number, and it's a couple elderly people, it's Mr. Theodore Hobson. He asked me, saying for some old persons who get assistance pension from us, and I did that, and he told me categorically that he wanted those persons to be able to register and they do not have an ID. And so therefore, since they were getting pension from Social Security, I gave the ID. So they need not bring other people into disrepute. And I want the public to know, Mark, that this is not the first time you're hearing what I'm saying, because I had the common decency, the basic decency, to call you on Tuesday to let you know that I'll call your show, and I'll say, Mark, have a good night.
Well,
Love you.
Ronald.
Man, call me too. That's okay.
Yeah. Before you go, you said that the comments that were made by Keith Scarborough.
Yes.
And they were made in which forum?
He made them on another radio station. I think you know where he shows up on Saturdays.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
Be good.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how much justice I can do to the concerns that you have raised. I myself have never sought to say anything bad about Social Security. I have great fondness and regard for Social Security. As a matter of fact, many people may not know that I was the first scholarship recipient when Social Security started this scholarship program, and I have always been eternally grateful to them for the role that they have played in building this nation. And so you won't get any criticism or quarrel from me in relation to Social Security.
Hey Mark, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hey, this is Keith Scarborough speaking.
Yes.
Let me say I am very disappointed to hear what Mr. Powell just said. Apparently Mr. Powell was not listening to the program.
Mm-hmm.
He instead listened to what Walter Morton told him on Choice FM. Let me tell you what I said, Mark. We were dealing with people who were the major fraud that was happening at the electoral office. And I said it is my understanding that persons are now being given Social Security cards to register with because they are not citizens. It was my understanding. I didn't say that social security card was given to anybody. I was speaking in the context of what was happening at the electoral office, with persons getting citizenship fast forwarded to them, fast tracked to them, and now we are hearing. That was my statement. We are hearing that even social security cards they have been given. I never said that persons of social security are giving out any cards to anybody. And I am very disappointed that my good friend Vonnie will go on the radio to say that I say that he or anybody at Social Security Department is giving out any cards.
All right, but this and that you have, Mr. Scarborough, I'm sorry, you have a forum that you go to?
I made the comment on Winner.
Yeah, I'm asking, do you have a forum that you go to which is a public forum?
Of course.
And you all accept calls on that forum?
Of course.
Okay, good. Well, I believe then that you are on that forum. I think that you can handle yourself and that you can answer any questions that Mr. Powell may have of you. And so this is my humble suggestion that rather than speaking through me, that you all speak to each other on that forum. I think that that would be sensible.
Because since he called in, I was listening, but since he called in, I figured I'll clear the ear tonight, right after he called. I didn't want to do it face to face with him because he's the radio.
Okay.
So I figured let me respond to him on the radio.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. I'm simply saying that on these types of issues, he has a question, you can answer it at the same time, and certainly on the radio as well, on your forum, because I think that, as I said, you're quite capable of responding to whatever concerns they may be. I am coming to this issue and I don't know what the issue is, and so that's why, I've left it in that manner. He felt that something had been said to bring his organization into disrepute. I think he's entitled to respond to what he claims was said. My only difficulty is that I felt like I was the referee in a boxing match when I don't know what the match is about.